Well, yeah, supporting students particularly, but people with disabilities as a high priority. And the reason I do that is that I realize the challenges that they face, and people that are blessed with help as I am have got to take some sort of leadership role and support their cause and provide the help that society should be helping each of these people, because in some sense these people are really heroes on their own. Well, the physical barriers that I encountered are not uncommon. I'll give you an example. Even the ramp going up to in the student center was steep. It was, I could see that either I had to have strengthened arms or get used to it, or have a motorized chair. I could do it, but even at the length that it was already one that you could see as a barrier, not to mention that I didn't know how to operate the chair very well, and I thought I was going to flip over backwards. But what happens in this is that you'll find them everywhere. Those things that able-bodied people take absolutely for granted, whether it's a curve that is there and not cut out for the wheelchair, or whether when you make a turn and go under Victoria and you find what you would have thought would be a level walk, it's got an up and a down, it's got undulation.
Right.
It's probably necessary, but it is another obstacle for someone in a wheelchair. Well, with regard to it, what I was saying to people is the psychological impact of it. I think two things. First of all, I think it's fair to say that a lot of people recognize who I am. So it's a bit of surprise to see me in a wheelchair. So it was hard to differentiate what was the reaction. Was it a surprise that I hurt my leg or something?
Right.
Or was it I was in a wheelchair? So it's very hard to do, but I can tell you that I've done this before. And what I've noticed were two things: my reaction and others' reaction. Others' reaction were a bit of get out of my way, but it was more mine. I felt like I wanted to jump out of the wheelchair and say I'm okay, because I felt that there was something, so I don't know if it was really about me, to be quite honest, or it was about others, but I knew that in fact that part was in fact harder than the physical part. For a period of time, so I've lived as a minority as well.
Yeah.
And I think that what more than the issue of minority versus majority, I think what I was feeling is that society is based upon working able. You had advantages, huge advantages over those that were disabled. So I felt more that it was an issue of the able versus disabled than it was minority versus majority issue.
Right.
Well, I think there's always improvements that are necessary. You know, if I had a magic wand, I would get rid of curveball. During the master planning session, the amount of attachment people had from a romantic idea of curveball, I kept on saying to them, yeah, ask people with disabilities what they think of curveball.
Yeah.
And I think we have made, as a society, a lot of improvements. We're not there yet in new construction, but it's the old construction that is wanting so badly. So you can't wave a magic wand and make everything happen, but at the same time, you got to put improvements for those that need the help as one of your priorities. And I think there's 1,001 that you have to be attentive to that are not all that expensive. And the one I mentioned was that there's curb cutouts for people at not where you want them, It's where they want to cross the road. You know, when all their friends cross the road at point X and you create a curb cutout at point Y, because that's where they should be crossing, but no one else crosses that way, you're really saying to the person who are disabled, leave your friends and go a different way from them. And I think we have to think what works for them, not what works for the laws that are traditionally written by other people. We really have to empathize and go the distance. Where you spend your money, it better work, because you'll never be able to get there, but every dollar we spend should make a significant difference to those that need that dollar spent on their behalf.